Welcome to Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Willies, your host. Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Harris County. Good morning to the great state of Texas. And of course, good morning to the United States. And of course, we have a big world out there. So good morning to the world. Good morning to every nook and cranny where our 100,000 watt transmitter sends its signals, whether it be northeast, southeast Texas, or northwest and southwest Louisiana. We are going to have a great show for you. But before we get started, and without further ado, we pass it on to El Studio con el señor Harold and Jacques Van Bebber.
I thought you said we were going to have a great show.
Well, because you guys are here, it's going to be great.
You're going to pass it on to the guys who hijack your show regularly and have absolutely nothing good to say.
I completely and entirely object like a lawyer. Okay. I disagree with that.
The proof is in the pudding, bro. All right. Well, I don't have anything. So, Jack, what you got?
Well, I read Egberto's post this morning, and, where are the Democrats? I see all kinds of Republican signs out there.
Oh, good.
The Republicans have a lot to be proud of. Greedflation is down. The economy seems to be okay. The big corporations are raking in record profits.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to get loud and vocal about the economy and what Joe Biden's doing.
Right. I'm just very, very concerned and watching with great interest this Donald Trump thing, all these trials and finding guilty of all kinds of fraud. Is this really the kind of person you want in office? You got to stop it at some point and say, is this the person we really want? Oh, okay. Well, we didn't have all the inflation that we have now under Trump, but that was very little, just you got to stop and think, look at what kind of person this guy is. Defrauded the state of New York constantly, refused to give back sensitive classified documents, tells people, oh, well, Russia should attack NATO countries. Really? Do you want this guy? Seriously?
Really?
You must be joking me, man. Anyway,
but you know what is so interesting? No, I'm glad you brought that up. You know what is so interesting though? The party of life, the party that believes in law and order, would support a guy that isn't just accused of sexually assaulting a woman, but convicted or found liable because of statute of limitations, etc., found liable of sexually assaulting a woman. But it's even worse because it's not like his word against her word. It's even his word against his word, because we have the tapes where he says what he likes to do with women. We have the tapes where he looks pretty darn, I don't even know the word, when he kind of insinuates that he looks at his daughter in a way he should. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. And
I know.
Go ahead.
The right-wing evangelicals, those Bible thumpers out there that just go out there and beat the devil out of the Bible. Oh, you gotta, the Lord would not like this. They're supporting him.
Right.
Seriously?
Right.
I mean, the right-wing evangelicals, this is their man?
Yeah.
The antithesis of everything they believe in?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Seriously?
It's amazing.
Anyway, yeah, they got tricked. And he's probably more of an antichrist than a Christ-like being.
Pretty much, yeah. I think so.
But
all right, that's enough from me.
Well, look, that great initial banter. First of all, before I go into my first speech, I want to say something about the trial in Georgia. And it goes like this. It is easy to hate on Fani Willis because she came up with a great case against President former President Trump. And somehow, how could you screw up a case by then having a romantic relationship with somebody on the job, some may say? Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but I met my wife on my job as a professional, as an engineer. And before I went solo, I worked 5 years in corporate America. And the one thing that is a constancy in corporate America and everywhere else on the job, however you want to call your job, is because of the proximity frequency that you are around people. And because we work so much and work so hard, many a times, love develops right there in the office. Sometimes it's frowned upon, sometimes it is not. But to make it something of a moral failure, again, remember, both of these people were consensual. Both of these people thought that, one person there's an interesting thing about Wade that got to me, right? There's an interesting, that's the guy that she had a romantic relationship with. That's a prosecutor. And I'm opening that right now. Now, his wife cheated on him, according to the reports that came out. I can say this because it's out on in the record now. His wife cheated on him, but in order for his kids to have a secure life, a what they would normally call the family unit life, they made the agreement to stay together, but just that, stay together. So him having a relationship with Fani Willis or whatever, it's not even a moral issue. Now, the way it is being spun, they are making it seem as if this woman did something horrendously terrible because she had an office romance. And people are going to say, well, look, how does it look? And I hear all the talking heads on TV. Oh, she shouldn't have done that. And they're moralizing. Many of them that you see host and hostess on these shows, they themselves are having relations, right? Now, because it's only human. It's only human. Nothing wrong with it. That's why I so much enjoyed when Fani Willis told her folks, no, I am going on the stand. They're advising her not to go on the stand. And she says, nah, I'm going there because she's just your average American girl, lawyer, no punches pull or whatever. And there's one piece that she said that I think every single person needs to remember. And I have a short clip, a 1 minute, less than a minute clip for you to hear. Here it is.
So your office objected to us getting Delta records for flights that you may have taken with Mr. Wade.
No. Look, I object to you getting records. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
So my question was, do you have any problem?
I object to getting any personal records of mine.
And that's just a piece of, I think of her entire, and which it was a lot of what she had there was substantive. She brought up the 3 accusations and says, these 3 are all lies. Let's prove that they're all lies. And she did a good job of doing that. And then her father came on the other day and said, yeah, this is how we operate in this family because X, Y, and Z. But the important part that everybody has to remember is that Fani Willis is not on trial. The people that are on trial are the people who attempted to take the rights of 80-something million people away. The people who lied their way the people who got 5 people killed with an insurrection. We have to stop allowing pundits, and I mean, there were some progressive pundits. I wanted to go into the screen and say, my God, how do you allow yourself to buy the line? How do you allow the right to change your frame of thinking? It is so easy for us to get misinformed. It is easy for us to get holy roly when the person that really is doing evil in this place is that former president of ours. Let's get real. Let's look at Fani Willis for who she is. A darn good district attorney who is darn good at RICO laws and really got the former president, and hit that former president where it hurts. And you can have any feelings about whether she should have had a relationship with the guy prosecuting as well. And not only that, we have the right also to find out if said relationship caused her to, let's say, send money his way or whatever. Yeah, we have the right to look into that. But anything other than that is just completely out of line. But you know what? Just like we have the right to determine if her relationship with this guy created a problem, we so also can say if these two lawyers, if a district attorney had a cousin or a friend of a cousin who got a contract, whether that had something to do with it. We ought to be fair, and we cannot continue to let these guys frame a debate and have us thinking in some particular way. We need not think. So let's go ahead and go to Brother Tag before I go to my first pitch in the morning, and then we'll go to another subject. Come on in, Brother Tag. How are you doing today, sir?
Good, Egberto. Nice to talk with you.
Yes, likewise, my brother.
I wanted to talk just a minute about the 60 Minutes report last night about the election electors, fake electors.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
And it was interesting because the head of the RNC in Wisconsin, his name's Hitt, when they came to him and asked him to, do this fake elector thing, they were saying, well, the court is going to throw out all the absentee ballots in the state, and then the Republicans will win. And I didn't really know the significance of what they were saying then.
Right.
But to go back and say, well, we're fighting all the absentee ballots that were sent in, that never should have been legal in the first place. And then this guy, the Hitt guy, he says, well, I sent my ballot in, in the mail absentee. So he says, I didn't think my ballot should be disqualified, and I don't think that anybody else's ballot should be disqualified. So all these states they went around and tried to do this to that was the premise. We're going to get rid of all the absentee ballots so that we can win. And so that really spoke quite loudly to me. I didn't know the importance of that act. And then they tried to do the same thing in Michigan, and I'm sure this in Georgia it was the same thing they were trying to pull there. So that was the kind of the issue that they had come up with to try to sway the election. So I just think it's important to remember that.
Tag, I thank you for bringing that up. That is important for Americans to know, because they try to the way the right has spun it, and the way the let's say Democrats and others have told the story lacks the why that you just went ahead, why it is so dangerous, which you went ahead and made it clear with your statement. Anyway, Tag, thank you for calling. Anything else before I go do my first pitch of the morning?
Yes. Have a good day and support KPFT. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, brother. All right, folks, I'm going to get Sandy on in a minute, our general manager, but I want to do my ask first in this manner. We work hard to make sure that you don't just get the narrative that you hear on ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, other. We allow, or we hope that given additional info, additional data will cause you to open your mind, open your horizons, and say, wow, I am not going to allow them to puppetize my mind, to make my mind into that of a puppet. Right? So that's what I hope you're coming here for. That's why I hope you will be supporting this program and others on this station that attempt to do the same. So I ask you kindly to give us a call at 713-526-5738 and hit extension number 1 and contribute to the program. We have a lot of different options, but please call that number now, and our general manager is going to come in and say, please help support this program, this station. Sandy, good morning, sir. How you doing, my brother?
Good morning. Please help support this program, this station. I do that right, Egberto?
Yeah, that's perfect, brother.
Okay, good. Just making sure we got that right, because it's Monday morning and we want to get off to a good start, don't we?
Yes.
It was a heck of a weekend at KPFT, especially on Saturday. Of course, we put up those Lyle Lovett, Jesse Dayton tickets at 8 a.m. Saturday morning, and by 10 a.m. they were all gone, Egberto.
Wow.
And that's part of to a total of $82,745 on our way to $150,000 on this drive. So I thank everybody that called in last night and got those tickets yesterday, and all the other fine pledges on Blue Sunday and Saturday as well. Just a quick thanks to Ed A., who pledged last night on Songwriter Studio and snatched up a pair of those John Oakes tickets at the Heights Theater. If you're interested in tickets, they're going fast. So it would be a good time to call and find out what's on the table for you musically in that regard. Also, we've reserved one pair of tickets for the Jesse Dayton Lyle Lovett show at Anderson Fair. One pair, and it's going to be in a drawing for all sustainers signing up this drive. You throw in $5 a month, it gets matched with a $50 bill by an anonymous donor, and your name goes in the hat, and you can win a couple of tickets to that, what promises to be a remarkable show at Anderson Fair. Lyle Lovett and Jesse Dayton in that intimate little venue. So if you need a little extra help in deciding whether to become a sustainer for KPFT, maybe that boost will do it. The way that works is $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever amount you decide monthly. You give us your credit card number or electronic funds transfer or however you set it up. And then every month, that little bit of money comes into KPFT and is combined with everybody else doing the same thing. And we're looking to get a total of $26,000 coming in every month from sustainers. When we started the drive, we were about 19,000, little bit more. So we have a ways to go. We calculated 400 new sustainers. So far this drive, I haven't counted, but my sense is we picked up about 100. So your odds of winning this ticket drawing are actually pretty good as those things go. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. None of that makes sense to you? $120, get the Caroline coffee combo. I'm drinking my first cup now, Egberto. Coffee and a mug from KPFT, Lola Savannah, Colombian Supremo beans, and a mug. Caroline Street Blend. Drink like a DJ.
I love the way you say that. Drink like a DJ. Well, good morning. I want to salute Eric Hayes, who's in the chat. Likewise, Charlie Lindahl, my board of director brother from HPJC, is on the line. Actually, is the vice president of HPJC, Houston Peace and Justice Center, in the background. Anyway, folks, who give us a call at 713-526-5738. Support the station right now. I am still at a big 0. So without your support, we cannot keep this going. Charlie, come on in, my brother. Is this Charlie Lindahl? How you doing, my friend?
It is. Hi. I normally don't wake up this early, but I really wanted to get a comment in. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Give me your comment, my brother.
Okay, my comment has to do with the Ezra Klein podcast from last week.
which I highly recommend everybody check out. Did you see that or did you hear it?
Well, actually, you sent me a text last night, and it's on my list of to-dos.
Okay. All right. Well, basically, I love Ezra Klein. He's got a fantastic podcast. He's a New York Times columnist, and he does a podcast. He does columns and so forth. And I really appreciate his writing and his the way he thinks and the way he presents things. And this particular podcast, which hopefully you can, I'm not at my computer, so I can't put the link in. And I don't know.
Don't worry, we're gonna watch it, my brother, or listen to it. But tell me about it.
Okay. Well, basically, his argument is the Democrats do have a choice for our presidential candidate, and he is saying that it may be beneficial even now to try and convince Biden to drop out and let the decision about the presidential candidate happen at the convention as it used to be. And that's a fascinating concept. And what Klein mentions is Biden is definitely up to the job of president, and he's done a very good job, and there's a whole list of accomplishments of what he has been able to do. But what Ezra Klein argues is he's definitely up for the job of president, but he is not up to the job of campaigning.
I think there's a lot to that.
Well, the way he states it, I thought was fascinating. And again, it gives full credit to the things that have happened under Biden. And he's also making the point that we're not hiring just a team here. It's not just Biden. It's Biden and his team. And the team with Biden, the Buttigieg, and yes, even Harris, although I don't think she's performed as well as she could have. But at any rate, but all of his major team members are prominent. They're well known. They're well spoken, and things have been done. There are actual things that have been accomplished. The CHIPS Act and so forth and so on. Okay, and the IRA. All of these accomplishments are attributable to Biden, but it's the Biden team, and that's what we need. What the Democrats should be messaging is it's the entire team. It's not just the guy at the top. The other point is about the convention is let's get some excitement amongst the Democrats. If he were to step down and say, okay, we really have a primary still, there would be a lot of excitement, and the media would have something other than the constant Trump material to be able to concentrate on. And
you know what?
Points about are great. So anyway.
Okay, Charlie, I got to go do some more pitching, my brother. But let me just tell you, thank you for bringing that to our attention. I'm going to go listen to it to see in what context he says it, because I tell you, you have to be very, very careful that all the people that have voted for Biden thus far, because that's who they want, don't feel disenfranchised. So there's a thin line between how to do that, and I get you. I really want to hear what he has to say on that particular issue. But look, thank you, my brother, for calling in and being up here early in the morning, sir.
You bet. Thank you. Talk to you later.
Have a good one. All right, joining us likewise in the chat. The YouTube chat is AR. Welcome aboard, AR. Anyhow, folks, look, again, we are in fund drive. We're still giving you a show, as you can see, but we do need you to call. Right now, I have zero, as I mentioned, zero callers, a donut. I want to ask you so kindly to support this program, this station. Give us a call at 713-526-5738 and hit extension number 1 to donate. We have a whole lot of great gifts. Sandy mentioned quite a few of them earlier on. Let me mention a few others because he didn't mention my T-shirt. You can get the not my t-shirt, the KPFT Politics Done Right t-shirt. You can get the KPFT Politics Done Right t-shirt for a contribution of $100. Again, you can also get the we have bricks. Okay, bricks. That means you can buy a 4x8 brick and have whatever insignia on it for a contribution of $25 a month. What that does is it gives you a permanence. You can have your insignia for eternity of whatever place KPFT is at, with whatever you want to say with your name on it. You can get the 8x8 brick for a $50 donation as well. That you can get more space to put what you want to put on that particular brick. Now, you can also, we are trying, as Sandy mentioned earlier, we want to stop having these fund drives. The only way we can stop having these fund drives is if we can have a steady base of sustainers. I mean, we'd have to have a fund drive anyway to come in and say, hey, we need more sustainers, whatever sustainers drop off. Okay? But we need sustainers. And sustaining is simple. And let me tell you how simple. Think about how much money you give per month on a whole lot of things. Many of these things, not necessarily things you want, are in your benefit. Let's look at a similarity. Cable TV. You give maybe $100 a month, $200 a month, $300 a month for your whole cable network. Maybe you have your internet that you pay a certain amount, and you have on top of it YouTube TV for $70 and Netflix for another $15 and Hulu for another $12. All these things, right, that you do because you feel that you get a value out of it. And also, you come to listen to us every morning at 5 or whenever time we come on, and you feel that you get a value out of that as well. But the value you get is you can't talk to the folks at Netflix. You can't talk to the folks at your cable TV and put your platform out there. You can't talk to Hulu. You can't talk to any of these things. These things are prescribed what they are going to feed you, whether true or not, whether entertaining or not. But you have then KPFT, a public radio station supported by your dollars and your dollars only. And with that comes the option to talk to Sandy, Howard, Jack, myself. You are a part of the family because this is your station. And for that, we say, can you give us a coffee a month? Can you give us a couple of coffees a month? Can you take us for coffee a month? A couple of coffees a month. It's called a sustainer. Where you say, okay, I'm going to give KPFT $5 a month and forget it. I'm going to give KPFT via Politics Done Right, of course, via $10 a month and forget it. $15 a month, 3 coffees a month and forget it. And that is your tax deductible contribution. So it's not only a platform that you have that is yours. You participate. As you can see, whoever calls into this show gets a platform. I don't care what you believe. And by the way, tomorrow, you're going to have a hell of a guest. Tomorrow, we're going to have the Harris County District Attorney, Kim Ogg, on our program. Think about that. Brother Ray, thank you so kindly, Ray Braggs, for that contribution. We have a new sustainer to Politics Done Right. Thank you for that. Thank you for giving us a few coffees a month, my brother. It's very well appreciated from the depths of my heart. Now, if we could get 8 more of those, we will be in business. 713. I have more to give this morning, but I want to do a little bit more pitching to try to ask you kindly to support. 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to contribute. 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to contribute. Hey, and Patrick, thank you so kindly, Patrick, for your contribution, my brother. Thank you so kindly. 713-526-5738. All right, come on in, Sandy.
Thank you, Egberto. Those two sustaining pledges to start the day are something else. I want to thank Patrick and Ray, both of you. Both those names are going to go in the hat for a drawing on those tickets for Lyle Lovett and Jesse Dayton on the 20th of April, otherwise known as 420 to a few of us. Folks, that's one way to get into a sold-out show. But what you're really doing is you're keeping KPFT from being sold out, keeping it alive. Looking to our 54th birthday on March 1st. Very good. Also, if you pledge $20 or more a month on a sustaining basis, you're going to get that coffee and coffee cup automatically with whatever other premium you elect to take. So all kinds of great things happen for KPFT when you become a sustainer. And when you become a sustainer, all kinds of nice gifts come your way as a result. It's really important. The more sustainers we get, the better. By the way, both Ray's pledge, it's $5 a month, and Patrick's are going to be matched with a $50 bill. So whatever you got there, add another $100 to it, Egberto, because that's the power of sustaining memberships. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sandy. 713-526-5738. 713-526-5738. It is so important to sustain this program. Let's go to Brother Ray. Come on in, Brother Ray, and thank you for your contributions, my brother.
I want to say you're very welcome, my brother. It was long overdue, and you let me come on there and talk my stuff. So I mean, you made your pitch, and I heard it. So. Let the church say amen. We got to have some donations come along now. I'm only one. You need some more. So thank you, Egberto.
I want to thank you because, like I said, if we can get a whole lot of what you just did, eventually, as Sandy mentioned earlier, we can make these things shorter and just stay with the meat of the program. And you are, Ray, you constantly have a platform here on both our programs, both Politics Done Right here and the ones that we do at 3:00. And I want to thank you for your words, because when you speak, people listen, because you are there in the community as a grassroots organizer. Thank you, my brother.
Yes, and besides that, I actually want to piggyback off the other brother. By the way, I found out one of my coworkers listened. So if you're out there listening, shout out to my coworker. We out there in the community doing the work, that you stomp for all the time. So I look forward to it every morning and waking up to you. So I actually want to piggyback off what the brother said earlier about, our unfortunate debacle with the presidential race as it is. And I actually heard that same perspective, but it was from someone else. So he heard it from Ezra Klein. And I used to be a loyal watcher of Real Time with Bill Maher, because I used to respect his political commentary, but he's moved a bit far to the right for me, and a lot of his guests are more on the right wing end. But, in order to keep, in sync with what the other side is saying, instead of watching Fox News or OAN, I can stomach Bill Maher. So Bill Maher had Bob Costas as one of his guests, and he mentioned what the brother said about Ezra Klein, where, I basically, he couldn't have said it any better. I agree with absolutely everything he said about what Biden has done thus far. And I appreciate him stepping in and being, that cooling plate when this country was going to hell in a handbasket, excuse my language, for anybody that might be offended, under the guise of one, dictator Trump. Now, with that being said, I do agree maybe, there is more time for the Democratic Party as a whole to reconsider, because what I'm hearing, in my own community is that, a lot of people just don't trust Biden to be able to run the country. Now, this is not me personally, but, some of it might come from ageism. I still think he's capable of running the country, But like the guy said, is he really ready for the campaign? And
Yes.
if he was to do what I think, and I do agree, it somewhat would be, maybe outside of the norm, but if he was to do the respectable thing and step down and open up the primary at some point at the convention, or, allow another, younger suitor in, I think, the casual voter who basically doesn't really have an allegiance to Biden, they're going to still vote Democrat.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I know a lot of people that are reluctant to vote for Biden again, because the first time they voted for him because he was the alternative to Trump. Now that they've had 4 years of Biden, unfortunately, America and the national politics is very reactionary, and they might let Trump in because they've gotten tired and fatigued on 4 years of Biden because of what the media has been feeding them.
I hear you. I hear you, Ray. Look, Ray, thanks for your commentary, and I think a whole lot of us agree with that. And let's see what happens. The one thing that those of us who are activist journalists or whatever, we have to go out there and do the work. And I know you are doing the work. I'm trying like hell to do the work to make sure that what we support is what's best for America, what America say they want. Thank you, my brother. All right. Anyway, folks, 713-526-5738. Look, I had a video but it's about a 7.5 minute video, so I'm not going to play it because again, we have to get some more pitching in. So please go to politicsandright.com/newsletter. All the links and the videos that we're going to talk about today is in that email. I may be able to touch a little bit on the other subject, but beforehand, I want to pitch a little bit more by saying, folks, please give us a call at 713-526-5738. I want to give a humongous thank you to Patrick and Ray. So you guys started the day for me. You guys prevented me from getting that big zero for the day. And we're still behind by several $100s, not just for today, but for the times that I hadn't made my amount. So let me throw it back to the studio a second before they come back to me.
Oh, just one more thing I wanted to mention here during our pledge drive this winter pledge drive. We're also supporting the Manna Food Pantry. We've got a food drive going on. We're asking for non-perishable foods to be brought to us. We'll put them in a big old box and take them over to the Manna Food Pantry here in the 3rd Ward and support those folks too, because this is giving back to the community. You give to us, we give back to you. That's how it works. And that's wanted to make sure that we give some love to the Manna Food Pantry food drive today.
And, I don't want to forget that we could never be on air without the brother that you just heard right there, Howard Reynolds, who is the only paid employee at KPFT. And again, when we say paid, we're just saying paid, meaning he has to get some money for FCC regulations, but he gets stuff going 24/7. And there's, of course, Jack Van Bibber in that office. Jack Van Bibber drives in several dozen miles every day from near Galveston to be here doing this great work that he does here. And of course, we have to bring Sandy into the mix, who is our general manager now. This station has been under a whole lot of duress, and the man has been doing a damn good job working his patoogies off to get this stuff, to keep this stuff going. So thank you, Sandy, Jack. Thank you, Brother Howard. Now, folks, we need to thank you as well. 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. 38, extension number 1 to contribute. I want to ask you guys to please become, if you have the wherewithal to be, please become a sustainer. $5 a month, a coffee a month, just like our brother Ray did. A coffee a month, 2 coffees a month, $10 a month, right? A t-shirt, the Politics Done Right t-shirt, that is $100 contribution, or you can say, I want to have coffee with Egberto. Hey, look, this is a way for me to help our station, right? a $250 one-time contribution. We go out and get some coffee, shoot the bull. You can tell me what you want. I tell you what, we have a good time. I promise you that. We'll have great conversations, etc. For anybody who gives a $250 contribution to Politics Done Right, in the name, not to politics, in the name of Politics Done Right, it all goes to KPFT. Nothing comes to me. It all goes to KPFT. 713-526-5738, extension number 1. We have 2 contributions. Can we get at least 5 more? I'd love 10 more, but can we get at least 5 more? I mean, if you are thinking, I'm going to give later, can I ask you to give now? 713-526-5738, extension number 1, or go to kpft.org. And when you get that option for which program you're supporting, please support Politics Done Right so that our manager knows that Politics Done Right is holding its own, ensuring that it's holding its keep. The only way we know that you want this program is for you to contribute to the program. So anyway, let's go ahead and get Harry for a minute or so. Come on in, brother Harry.
Good morning, Roberto Willis, and good morning to Captain Reynolds and Jack Van Dever. Well, I'll just say these things as fast as I can about Donald Trump. Can do anything, as Amy Goodman has said on Politics Done Right to the Women. And, so why would you want to vote for someone who likes to sexually assault women and then just do whatever? And I was doing some research again when Trump was in office, and the U.S. government only pulled in 1.1% of tax revenue. Looking at this histogram of all the countries, and the U.S. was at the bottom because of those tax cuts. And most people that were wealthy benefited from those tax cuts. And Trump has already said that if he gets back in there, he's going to give another tax cut. And that's not what the U.S. needs, because then he continues to do deficit financing and run up more debt. So, and then, all his criminality is done. But this is going to sound repetitive, Roberto, and I know you're going to get...
Harry, I have a favor for you, Harry. I need you to do me a favor. You are a regular and you are loved here. So I want to shortchange you so that I can get a little bit more pitching in. But I love you, brother. But I really need to ask people to come on and to help us out. So by the way, you're right, you're correct. But again, we need to raise. So thank you, my brother. All right, but you're absolutely right.
I'm mailing my contribution in this week.
You.
I told you that 2 weeks ago. You're going to get my contribution in. It'll be let's get to the studio within a few days.
Brother, we love you and we thank you. I promise you that. Right. Thank you, brother.
Right.
Let's go ahead.
To play that, to wake people up about Donald Trump who don't know that he's a grifter and a con man, because that will turn on a light switch when people listen to that. We got to hit people in the head with. So we know who this be, so they know who Donald Trump really is. Because
all right, Harry, I'm trying to throw you off of the phone, my brother. Harry, I'm trying. We'll talk tomorrow. I love you. We'll talk tomorrow, okay? Yeah, good. All right. Anyway, that's Harry. Harry is our regular. He's a member of this family, folks, and so we can kind of get with it. Anyway, folks, I want to ask you again: 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to contribute. We're trying to get sustainers now. $5 a month, very easy. A coffee a month, like Ray did. $10 a month. Whatever you can. We really need to get some support for the program. Let's go ahead and get Sandy back in.
Hey, Berto, you're all wired up here on Monday morning trying to get people to donate. And frankly, I appreciate that. And those people that are saying, oh, you guys keep asking for money, would you please just go back to your programming? Shut us up. Make a pledge. Again, $5 a month, $10 a month, or just $5. We had a pledge come in the other day for $1, Egberto.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. So, it all adds into that total. All of us together keep KPFT. It's not me. It's not Egberto, not Howard, not Jack, not any one person in particular. It's community. And we're going to be 54 years old March 1st, which is astounding. Think about that. A commercial, non-commercial media station like KPFT surviving 54 years with no commercial revenue, surviving by listener support. We're the oldest FM station in Houston at this point. Please support what you love. 713-526-5738. Again, a 1 pound bag of Colombian Supremo beans from Lola Savannah, the Caroline blend, and the Caroline Street coffee mug with it is a $120 donation. And if you want, you can set that up at $10 a month, not as a sustainer, just $10 a month. If you don't want the thing to roll over after 12 months and keep going, well, that's the way to do it. But whatever you do, do it. Support KPFT. Join the other 475 people that have donated so far this drive. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org.
Thank you very much, Sandy. Hey, guess what, guys? Tomorrow, remember I told you from we started this fund drive that we're going to try to incorporate still giving you a good program as we pitch. And, the faster we get money in any given day, the faster or the more content we can give you. Now, look, I prepare content for more than an hour. More than an hour's worth of content every night before this program. I make sure to have stuff to provide us with some new info, with additional info. I make sure of that. Most of the times we don't get there because you come first. If you call in and you want to talk about something else, you can. And that's why we have the newsletter as well. The newsletter at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter will cover the things we can't cover on air. Well, tomorrow is a special day because tomorrow we're going to have the Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg in, and one of the reasons she's going to be here is she says that, well, Egberto, you said a few things about me and my race that I don't think is and I said you can always be on this program to come in and refute what I say, corroborate what I say, disagree with what I say. Like, everybody has the option. And she decided that she's going to come on Politics Done Right tomorrow morning live. So you'll have Kim Ogg tomorrow live on Politics Done Right. And again, we're still pitching. We still need to raise this money. But if we can raise more than we need for tomorrow, we can actually get to ask her more questions. And maybe you can even ask her questions. But here's the issue, folks. We're in Fund Drive because we have to be. And even if we have all the stalwarts in our county coming on air, we still have to raise funds so we can have our political stalwarts on air. So that number is 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Again, that is 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Sandy already gave a whole lot of the different options that you have for the program. Now, I want to stop pitching for about 3 minutes here to bring up another story. The full story is in the newsletter, but I want to talk about this because this part isn't. Yesterday, Tag called in and said, "Did you watch 60 Minutes last night?" I did watch 60 Minutes last night. And the story that got to him was the story about voting, and I understand that because that is very serious. But let me tell you what story got to me. One little segment about the story in the Middle East. And when the person said they send off a missile that cost us, the American citizenry, $4 million per missile, $4 million per missile, to knock down a $10,000 Iranian drone. I want you guys to encapsulate that. We're using a $4 million missile to knock down a $10,000 drone. I'm going to tell you a little secret. You see that missile? The technology in that missile is not all that far removed from the technology of a drone. War that we promote is actually a drain on our coffers at the expense of all the good we should be doing with social programs to invest in people. I'm not going to go into detail of in this right now because we're pitching, but I want you to get this, folk. We're going to talk a lot about this after our fund drive, because this is something that you can change. This is something that you must change. We are continuously spending money and moving money to the few by building $4 million missiles that don't cost $4 million and a few people pocketing that profit. That is what it's all about, but it's not told to you that way. When I saw the 60-minute piece and I saw them mention the $1 million missile, the $4 million missile, I thought maybe somebody in context would have said, wow, how much could have been done with that, with all those $4 million missiles you're shooting down? Other things with, you know what could be done in America? We don't hear that. 713-526-5738. Extension number 1. Folks, we only have 2 contributions. I want to ask you so kindly to give us a call at 713-526-5738, extension 1. I would love to thank you on air like I did Patrick and Ray. I would love to thank you on air like I did Patrick and Ray. So please give us a call. We cannot continue this without you. A $5 contribution. I mean, just think about it. You get a platform here. A $5 contribution a month, a sustainer, will eventually prevent us from having to do this as long as we do it. All right, let's go to Patrick real quick.
Good morning. How are you doing?
All right, good morning, Patrick. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm fine.
I wanted to ask what you think of something. I'm very hesitant to tout the economic gains that we made after COVID, because I'm afraid, because we exported all of our manufacturing pretty much except for weapons production.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm afraid that one of the reasons why we haven't been calling for ceasefires or negotiations is because Biden understands that the economic gains are dependent on exporting these weapons. And I wanted to see what you thought about that.
Well, I mean, it's not what I think about it; it's what it is, right? I mean, our defense. Remember, this doesn't start with us saying this. This start with Republican President Eisenhower, who said this was going to happen. The military-industrial complex is a power machine, a profit-making machine, and yes, we fight wars to keep that, or rather. The defense industrial complex incentivizes politicians to find a reason to fight wars to keep that part of the economy flowing, as opposed to other investments that could be made. I hope I said it in a way that you agree with. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, I do. I think that probably the DNC is making the same mistake that they did with Hillary and not listening to what people want. It not many polls indicate that Biden's going to do very well, and most people that were polled 4 years ago said that they were voting against Trump instead of for Biden.
Exactly. And now I look, they're making, actually, that's a fact. They're making the same mistake. People are saying something and they're saying what people need to know instead of what people are saying. So you get that right. But anyway, I got to go. Patrick, thank you so kindly for calling in. And we'll talk again. You know, we're a daily show, so give us a call. 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to contribute. Folks, we only have 2 contributions. Could I get 5 more in the next 3 minutes? 5 more in the next 3 minutes. 713-526-5738. I'm going to throw it back to the studio before we close this baby down.
Everything is good on your end over there. We've had 2 people step up so far, as Egberto just said. We have a very modest goal for this program every morning of $400. We're currently $190 away from that goal. So a couple of you, just doing $100, getting that T-shirt from the station, be it a Politics Done Right tee or another tee, that will do it. 713-526-5738, option 1. Also, it's still chilly in the morning, and I know that the weather's warming up, which means that a few of you will be heading to the beach, and it gets cool in the evening. So grab a hoodie, 713-526-5738, a KPFT new logo hoodie. It's a $180 contribution or $15 a month. And if you want to do the $15 a month, consider making that forever on a sustaining basis. And again, everybody that's signing up as a sustainer, and we've had just one this morning, not 2, because Patrick took some tickets to the Squirrel Nut Zippers. Okay, Patrick, way to go. But Ray did the sustainer. His name will go in the hat, and you can win a pair of tickets to the Jesse Dayton Lyle Lovett show at the very intimate Anderson Fair. And a big thank you to Tim Leatherwood for making that possible. Go ahead, Egberto. With 2 more people. Come on, let's go. We need a little bit of money to make that goal.
Even if I shut off, you can still go ahead and go to kpft.org and make sure to select Politics Done Right as a show you're contributing to. But come on, give us a call. Make sure that we can stay on air. I'm $190 short for the goal is what Sandy said, but I'm shorter than that. I mean, I have more that I have to raise for what I didn't do on Friday and Thursday. 713-526-5738. Let me go to Howard and Jack for their closers.
Folks, just don't forget about the food drive going on right now in Coon. Well, concurrent with our winter fund drive. So it benefits the Mana Food Pantry. We're looking for non-perishable foods brought by KPFT so we can feed the hungry masses. And Matt, Jack, you got anything?
Please donate.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jack. 713-526-5738. Thank you, Jack, Howard, Sandy. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, all of you who support us, all of you that call in. You all make this program what it is. Thank you on the internet, all of you guys that are listening right now. Charlie, Lindell, AR, Eric. Look, my name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right, and you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.